to believe I wasn't wrong. As long as I had the conviction to achieve that belief, everything would be resolved. The only absolute answer. That entire equation collapsed on itself. And instead, what was presented was abandoned Kurisu? Abandon Mayuri? That sort of extreme choice. Radio Kaikon is still off limits. They still haven't repaired the hole in the 8th floor wall that the satellite that Suzuha's time machine had destroyed. I can look down on Akiba's streets from the rooftop. From up there, from up here, the streets look tight. Now, above the guardrail in front of me, a yellow train runs through the Soba line. I wanted to be alone, so I came here. The day before yesterday, I cancelled our plan to crack the IBN 5100 right after hatching it. Kurisu and daughter pressured me to tell them why, but I just couldn't explain. It's already been 2 days since then. I couldn't make a decision when faced with such an extreme choice. Just what should I do? Kurisu's mysterious death that day. On that day, where I'm standing right now. On that day, where I'm standing right now. Where Dr. Nakabachi presented his would-be time machine. July 28th. 2 weeks ago. Let's say that as planned, we delete the first email I sent. The one conveying Kurisu's death. From CERN's database. Then I returned to the Beta World line, where it all began. What would happen then? My predictions would say that our comrade, lab member 004, Makise Kurisu, would disappear. It's a contradiction for someone who died 2 weeks ago to be alive on August 15th. A time paradox. Kurisu must not exist in August 15th. The world has already eliminated her existence. I have been given 2 choices. The first choice is to hack CERN with the IBN 5100 and delete the data on the first email I sent. If we do that to return to the Beta World line, Kurisu would disappear, but Mayuri wouldn't die. In the future, the world will be free without CERN to create a dystopia. The second choice is to keep living here in the Alpha World line without hacking CERN. Mayuri will most likely die. So will Moeka and FB. Kurisu may be forced on by CERN to pursue time machine research, but at the very least she wouldn't die. And then CERN will rule space-time and complete their dystopia in the future.
どちらか選べ。だと。
God damn it.
I
don't really care about the future, be it free or ruled by CERN's dystopia. Though I really should care, since Suzuha entrusted her wish to me. I should think this thoroughly, properly. Through properly, whatever. But no matter how much I try to think 20 years into the future, I just can't feel a sense of impending doom. What's important to me now is Mayuri and Kurisu, who has life to steal. If I were given this choice back in July 28th, I would probably have it chosen to abandon Kurisu and save Mayuri without any hesitation. But those conditions don't really mean anything. It isn't July 28th. It's August 15th. I spent these past 2 weeks with Kurisu as a lab mem, and now she's meddled perfectly into our lab. All these times I've time-lapped. I've been saved countless times by Kurisu's existence. She was always calm, always precise, always giving interesting hypotheses, always pushing my back. The time leap machine wouldn't have been completed if it weren't for Kurisu. So just the fact that I've reached this point is all thanks to that genius girl. Then how the hell could I just abandon her? But on the other hand, letting Mayuri die is also out of the question. I've kept fighting until now for the sake of saving Mayuri. I came prepared to throw away my life, if it's for her sake. I want to save Mayuri more than anyone else. I want her to live. So I absolutely cannot just sit back and watch her die. I won't let Mayuri die.
結局どっちも選べない。選べるわけがない。
In other words, this choice is, which do I kill?
こんな結末なのかよ
I drive my fist into the wire fence.
鈴葉やフェイリスやルカ子や萌えかみんなの思いを犠牲にしてまでたどり着いたのがこんな結末なのかよ
Is there no other option? A loophole, where neither dies. Can't I use Suzuha's time machine? I have to return to the Beta World line. Time travel to July 28th with Suzuha's time machine. No, that's impossible. In the first place, Suzuha leapt to 2010 to change the future of CERN's rule. That cause and effect only happens in the Alpha World line. Once I escape the Alpha World line, Suzuha's desired future will be realized, eliminating her reason to leap to 2010. If Suzuha's time machine only exists in the Beta World line, I can't use it. In that case, what if I send a email to Kurisu that day, warning her? Warning. Something like, don't come to Dr. Nakabachi's presentation, for example. No, that won't work either. There's the attractor field theory. Cause and effect will converge. No matter what I do in the Beta World line, Kurisu will die. No matter how I try to avoid it, it'll be like how I couldn't save Mayuri. Now, here in the Alpha World line, the world wishes for Mayuri's death. In the Beta World line, which I'm struggling to get to, the world wishes for Kurisu's death.
ダメだ俺は助けられない
I'm powerless against the results of the world wishes, against the result the world wishes for. What should I do? Maybe Mayuri doesn't die in the current world line. Moeka's mail got cancelled. I haven't seen the divergence meter in detail. So the possibility isn't zero, is it? Or perhaps, following the flow of things, the deadline of Mayuri's death is the night of the 17th. Mayuri doesn't die that night between 7 and 8, then there will be no need for me to make this extreme decision. For all my experiences so far, I understand it's unlikely. But even so, I can't help but cling onto that hope. Mayuri and Kurisu. If I could save both of them, I don't care if the future is ruled by CERN. I can even easily betray the memory Susan had entrusted to me. Dude, you could do this and make everybody happy, I'm sure. You could think of something. So please, don't wish for Mayuri's death anymore. These wishes of mine, those prayers of mine, to whom should I send them to? To God? To the world? Surely in that case, the tiny prayers of a man like me won't reach. I embrace the conviction known as hope within my heart. This year's summer Kamima is open for 3 days, from the 15th to the 17th. That last day, I go with Mayuri to the event grounds from morning till the end, though all I did was carry Mayuri's bags. It's not really my thing, and the crowd was dreadful, so I just spaced out in the corner. Occasionally, Mayuri and I would go back and forth, back for food and drink, but otherwise I spent the day alone. In some sense, it was escapism. I made my mind a blank, distracting myself from the ominous premonition. But even so, I felt the Grim Reaper's countdown clock tick down, and couldn't calm myself. It was already dark when we went home by non-stop shuttle bus. In Mayuri's hand is her costume carrying case. In my hands are illustrated paper bags. Inside is a large amount of dojinshi. By the way, it's not what I bought, but what Mayuri bought. Maybe this was the reason she didn't participate in cosplay. After all, buying stuff there is hectic. We'd just stand there for a while after getting off the bus.
マユリはこれからどうするんだ？まっすぐ家に帰るか？
ラボに行こうと思ってたんだよ。
何か用事が？
特にないけどね。オカリンと一緒に久々にのんびりしたいなって。ちょっとお腹が空いたからね。途中でジューシー唐揚げナンバー1を買うの。
Kamima, the usual festival has ended. I want to experience the everyday after these long 3 days. That's what I might have thought. I hold back a groan and shrug.
じゃあ帰るか。
ねえねえオカリン、今日はね、どうしてマユシーについてきてくれたの？これまでは一度もコミマに一緒に行ったことないよね。オカリンは萌えには興味ないもんね。
ロボットアニメには興味はある。
But not so much that I line up early in the morning each year for Kamima, like Daru and Mayuri, though.
で、どうして今日は付き合ってくれたの？
それは。
To confirm Mayuri's death. Those words float through my head, but I desperately shake them out. Why am I so set on Mayuri dying? What I should be wishing for instead is that Mayuri doesn't die.
それは？
気まぐれだ。
そっか。
We're suddenly visited by silence. Mayuri's face, which is usually smiling, now looks unusually downhearted. Did she not like my answer? But it's not like I could just give her the real answer. I mean, there's no way I can just say it. Oh, there's no way I can just say, you will die in a few minutes. Can I?
ルカ子が
I started making excuses in a panic.
コスプレして恥ずかしがっているところを見て笑ってやろうと思ったのだが、来ていなくて残念だった。
ルカ君、絶対大人気になっちゃうのにね。いろんなブログに画像アップされまくってね、新聞社のニュースサイトにも載って、海外にも紹介されちゃったりするよ。そしたらルカ君は、ワールドワイドなスーパースターなの。で、マユシーはそれを見て、遠いところに行っちゃったなーって思いを馳せるのです。
本当にそうなりそうだから困る。
ねえ、オカリ。
Suddenly, Mayuri turns to me, walking backwards and peeking at my face.
今日はね、ありがとう。
なんだ、突然。
だってね、さっきも言ったけど、オカリンと一緒にコミマ来たの初めてだもん。マユシーは結構嬉しかったよ。
Yeah. I'm sure he had a lot of fun too, Mayuri. Sure he had a lot of fun too. A smile finally returns to Mayuri's face.
でもね、次はオカリンもコスプレしてくれるともっと嬉しいかも。
Yeah, why not?
ああ、考えておく。
Yeah. Don't think negative thoughts. Think about a fun, bright future.
いいの？本当に？
マユリ自身もコスプレして参加するならな。それだけじゃなく、ルカ子と、それとクリスティーナも呼ぼう。二人にコスプレさせるよう説得しろ。そこまでできたなら、真打ちとして、この俺が狂気のマッドサイエンティスト、法王院京馬として、コミマに降臨しようではないか。
The next Kamima is in winter. And then we go there, as if nothing had happened. We'd all get together with smiling faces. Let's think of that future.
そっか。道は険しいね。でもね、今ちょっと想像してみたら、とっても楽しそう。それにクリスちゃんはコスプレに興味津々みたいだったし、脈あるかも。マユシー、頑張ってみるね。
Moment of truth time. We've arrived in front of the lab. I looked up to the second floor window, but there's no light. Nobody's here today, unlike usual. I have a bad feeling about this. Is Moeka planning an ambush under the cover of night? Although I've forgotten Moeka, manager in the Rounders in previous world lines, are forgiven. Those times have already been undone. In this world line, the truth that they're aiming for, the time leap machine, is left unchanged.
マユリ、ここでちょっと待ってろ。
Motioning for her to sit and wait on the bench in front of the book, I peek around my surroundings. I know this precaution is useless, but still, I wanted to do what I could in order to bet on the slight chance Mayuri doesn't die on this world line. It doesn't seem like a good idea to just rush into the lab from the front. I thought I'd first search the circumference of the building for any suspicious figures lurking in the shadows. I part from Mayuri and proceed towards the Kurumai Bridge, all the while making sure Mayuri doesn't leave my sight. I survey my surroundings, looking for any sign of danger. What? Suddenly the white station wagon parked in the alley engages its engines and abruptly takes off. I can clearly see the driver's seat. I try to identify the man's face, but nobody immediately comes to mind. At the very least, it's not Manager or Mooka. But I do remember seeing that white station wagon. In previous Worldlands, whenever Mooka would try to run us over, it was in this white station wagon. When Manager retrieved the IBM 5100, he was in that same car. It's heading my way at full speed. I check the place I'm standing at. Center of the street. At this rate, I could run over to death. The station wagon's headlights switch to high beam. My vision becomes completely enveloped in its light. At the same time, my mind turns pure white. My feet freeze at the sudden change of events. This ambush is still an ambush, but instead of inside the lab, it's outside, and the opponent is a car. What to do? What should I do? It's okay. I shouldn't die. The world hasn't recognized my death. No, wait. What day was it today? Isn't this the first time I've come all the way to the 17th? Meaning, whether or not I die hasn't been decided yet. Will I die in Mayuri's place? In that case, maybe I can go in peace. No, I don't want to die! Those two contradictory thoughts ran through my mind. My body would not react at all contrary to my will. Will I be the one to die? My back is pushed forcibly. I open my eyes. I crawl to the edge of the road. My body is in pain, but I'm just scratched a bit at most. I was saved? I raise my head. What I see is the station wagon's red taillights as it turns into the intersection ahead. And then, a little bit away from me, in the center of the road, Mayuri's collapsed figure. Mayuri! I rush over to her. Mayuri is bleeding from her head. Did she protect me? That's just... I lift her body up in my arms. Mayuri's eyelids twitch and then suddenly open, or slowly open.
Okari.
Mayuri. ごめん。俺のせいで。
Her thin hand wanders as if seeking something. It's raised towards the starry sky. Her eyes look like they'll shut at any moment. But even so, they look straight into mine. For some reason, she's smiling.
やっとマユシーは役に立てたよ。
何を
Her hand raised to the starry sky, grasps salty at the air. Stardust handshake. I'm gonna say handshake. Yet in the end, that hand will never hold anything. It loses strength immediately. I grab the wrist that threatens to fall to the earth. Mayuri no longer breathes. How many times have I seen Mayuri die now? This time is just too much. This is all my fault, isn't it? I embrace Mayuri's tattered body, which no longer responds nor moves at all. I hold back my tears from overflowing.
まゆり、ここからじゃあんまり星が見えないな。こんなのあんまりだろう。
Why did she have to die here? What was the meaning of this death? The death the world wished for. Fate that always converges to the same result. I knew it would turn out like this. I couldn't avoid Mayuri's death. I knew it from previous experience. But to think I could save her from death. How could she die while smiling?
やっと役に立てたって。一体どういう意味なんだよ。なあ。
Mayuri has no future in this world line. I can't run away after all. Reach the beta world line by hacking CERN and killing Kurisu? Do nothing and accept Mayuri's death? I need to make a decision. Not anyone else, but the one who has been messing around with the world line as he pleases. Me. The sky is blue. I'm at the rooftop of Radio Kaikon, after going back 56 hours with 2 time leaps. Leaning against the wire fence, I stretch out my legs and look into the sky. I went back in time because I wanted time to think. The previous me spent 2 days with his thoughts, at a roadblock. But after confirming Mayuri's death, I'm no longer like that. I need to come to a conclusion before that time comes. There surely isn't a solution to this equation. No matter which choice I take, someone gets sacrificed. If you look at it with a utilitarian viewpoint, I should choose to crack CERN to prevent its dystopia. But it's not that easy a solution. I keep grasping at the possibility that there's some other way. Sousa had said, the moment in 2010 is a huge turning point at the attractor field. The moment I sent a D-mail conveying Kurisu's death, I think the turning point already started by then. When did the turning point start? I don't know for sure, but I think it was the moment we completed the microwave O-phone temp. That was around the middle of July. Right after that, our own I deemed it a failure. Anyway, the moment Kurisu was killed that day, it became a huge turning point at the attractor field level. If I think that day, reading Steiner was also activated when I sent the first D-mail that would become the beginning. And then, every person, car, and car flowing through the Chuodori disappeared at once. Mass disappearance. It feels so long ago. Now I can explain. At that instant, I moved from the Beta World Line to the Alpha World Line. In that first Beta World Line, Suzuha didn't come riding on her time machine. So Dr. Nakabachi's time machine presentation went by successfully, and choppers kept flowing to the station square below. But when I sent the D-mail, at least for my subjectivity, there was a huge change in world lines. In this world line I'm in now, Suzuha left from 2036, riding her time machine, piercing a huge hole in the Radio Kaikon, and causing a commotion. Because the satellite, which was actually a time machine, crashed, Nakabachi's presentation was cancelled, and the perimeter around Radio Kaikon was blockaded. Blockaded, meaning nobody was inside. When I was thrown into that situation around Radio Kaikon via world line change, it appeared as if several thousand people disappeared at once. It was like a joke without a punchline. The problem is the timing of when I sent the email. When I moved to the Alpha world line, whatever, it was right after Kurusu had died. If I had sent it before Kurusu died, then I just might have been able to prevent the incident. But if that were the case, cause and effect wouldn't come to be. It's because I witnessed Kurusu's death. It's because I witnessed Kurusu dead that I even sent the mail. Who killed Kurusu in the first place? There's no doubt it wasn't suicide. If I could identify the culprit and tell that culprit, don't kill Kurusu, by sending a D-mail, would that prevent Kurusu's death? In the current world line, Kurusu isn't dead. That culprit hasn't killed her. So if I sent that D-mail, it would have to be from the Beta world line. I don't have any confidence at all that it would go smoothly. Because I've already seen Mayuri die over and over. I've struggled time and time again to prevent that. But I experienced it, and in vain. But I experienced it, and in vain. But I experienced it, and in vain each time. Whatever. I understand it all too well. A death that the world wishes for cannot be prevented. I don't have any means to save Kurusu who died back then. Nobody should be here. Yet I hear a woman's voice. Kurusu opens the door and peeks her face outside. Feeling indebtedness, I couldn't look Kurusu straight in the face.
こんなところで何してる？
いや、よくここが分かったな。
一人になりたいって言ってたから、確率的に見て、ここに一番いそうっていう回を導き出した。
だったら一人にさせてくれ。わざわざ探さなくていい。俺は迷子の子供じゃない。
何よ！せっかく人が心配して探しに来たのに。いや、心配はしてないけど。
After making herself flustered, Kurusu sighs deeply and puts on a serious expression.
私だって、あんたのことなんて放っておこうかと思った。ただ、おとといの岡部、なんか変だったから。まあいつも変なんだけど、いつも以上にって意味で。くそまずいオートミール食べてる時みたいなしょげっぷりじゃない？何があった？
何も。
だったら、なんでセルンへのクラッキングをやめたの？
お前だって、クラッキングは良くないと言っていただろう。
大イーホフラグが立ってビビったんですね。わかります。
せめて順法精神に目覚めたと言ってくれ。
全然らしくないな。いつもの独善的な態度はどこ行ったのよ。狂気のマッドサイエンティスト、法王院京馬の。
独善的でなんかいられるか！
I raised my voice to a shout.
今回ばかりは、独善的じゃいられないんだ。
So far, I forcibly sacrificed the memories of Suzuha, Ferris, and Rukuko. By sacrificing them, I've certainly given these girls deep wounds. But even so, I justified it to myself by saying it was for the sake of preventing Mayuri's death, comparing the options against each other. But now, I can't possibly compare.
仲間のどちらを見殺しにするかって決断を前にして、独善的でいられたら、むしろどれだけ楽だっただろうな。
どちらかを見殺しって、どういう意味？
なあ、クリスティーナ。 俺は所詮ただの学生なんだよ。狂気のマッドサイエンティスト、法院京馬。そんなの全部妄想だ、設定だ。気づかなかっただろ。
いや、初対面時点でなんとなく気づいてましたが。
初対面か。
If, back then, I hadn't discovered Kurusu dead. Let's imagine that assumption. In that case, we wouldn't have had a big conversation when we met again at ATF. Kurusu wouldn't get interested when I uttered, "You should be dead," and intrude on our lab. And then the time loop machine wouldn't have been made, leaving me without the means to save my Yuri. Kurusu wouldn't have become our comrade. Kurusu wouldn't have been this close relationship with me.
答えて岡部。どういう意味なの？
I couldn't almost return the look in Kurusu's pressing eyes.
どうしても言わないとダメか。
散々相談に乗ってやったでしょ。今さら遠慮するな。
This isn't restraint.
だったら覚悟してくれ。これから話すのは相談じゃない、事実だ。お前にとっては死亡宣告になる。
Kurusu's voice sounded faint.
俺は説明したよな。セルにクラッキングをすることでマユリが死ぬことのないベータ世界線へたどり着けると。
2036年のセルンのディストピアもなくなる、自由な未来が待ってるバラ色の世界線、そんな風に聞こえた。
バラ色なものかよ。元凶となった最初の D メール、その内容はお前にも見せたはずだ。ベータ世界線ではそのメールの内容が実際に起きた。
Judging by how fast Kurusu gulped, she already understands the meaning of the death sentence.
ベータ世界線ではお前は7月28日に死んでいるんだ、クリス。そしてそれはアトラクターフィールド理論による収束のせいでどうしても回避できない。マユリを救おうとするなら俺はお前を見殺しにしないといけないんだ。
Kurusu doesn't answer anything. What face is she making now? Timidly, I try picking at her face. Kurusu's eyes look distant, looking somewhere beyond the countless buildings, without the fear or pessimism of death, as if taking a philosophical look. She's always like that, calm no matter what. Not like someone younger than me at all. The wind blows, swinging her gentle chestnut-colored hair. Kurusu weighs it down with her hand.
ねえ、アトラクターフィールドってどこまで信憑性があると思う？
信憑性？
あれって全部ジョン・タイター、アマネさんの受け売りでしょ？ 2036年時点ではスタンダードらしいけど、その時代の研究者たちは一体どうやってそれが正しいって証明したの？
理論が間違っていると言いたいのか。だが確かに収束は存在する。俺はそれを身をもって体験した。収
束は正しいとしても、無限個に枝分かれした世界線が 重ね合わせ状態になっているっていうのは？
俺が世界線を移動すると、世界は再構成される。過去から未来までだ。
それって、岡部の主観での話でしょ？あんたの脳が認識してる私は、ベータ世界線に行くと、死んでるのよね。それはつまり、私が死んでいる世界線と、私が死んでいない世界線のうち、あんたの主観が前者を選んだってことになるわけだけど。あんたの脳が認識する世界と、私の脳が認識する世界は別物かもしれないっていう可能性はないのかな。
Brains, huh? I forgot her specialty was neuroscience.
別物って、世界が分裂するということか。
分裂というか、電車みたいなものなのかも。
電車？
わかりやすい例を挙げると、
Kurusu takes out her phone and starts doing something with it.
路線図で調べてみたけど、秋葉原から横浜に行くのに、どの路線を選ぶか。
お前、鉄オタだったのか？
違う。例えよ、例え。あんたは、山手線で東京駅まで出て、そこから東海道本線に乗るのを選んだ。
Apparently coming up with an itinerary. Kurusu keeps talking while looking at her phone's screen.
でも私は、山手線で大崎まで行った後、湘南新宿ラインに乗った。もしかしたら別の人、橋田なんかは、そもそもいきなり、秋葉原から京浜東北線に乗っちゃうかもしれない。まゆりなら、東京から新幹線に乗るかも。岡部と私は、東京駅までは同じ電車に乗ってるけど、そこからは違う線に乗って、同じ目的地を目指している。
それを世界に当てはめると、パラレルワールドを主張するのか？
たまには、私も妄想ぐらいする。でも、世界が一つだと、誰が証明した？
鈴葉の言葉と、俺のリーディングシュタイナーが。
正体不明のタイムトラベラーと、原因不明の特殊能力ね。
鈴葉は正体不明では。
彼女が橋田の娘かどうかは誰にも証明できない。2036年から来たかも、ディストピアのことも証明できない。実際に2036年にならないとね。そもそも、もしリーディングシュタイナーが正しいなら、あらゆる人間の記憶があんたの主観に引きずられてることになる。そんなの無理がありすぎる。もしそうだったら、岡部は文字通り、神よ。でも、現実には神なんていない。世界はあんたを中心に回っているわけじゃない。あんたの脳がそう錯覚させているだけ。世界にとってあんたが神だと言うなら、同体積の脳を持つ私も世界にとって神になれるわけで。
何が言いたいんだ？
仮に岡部の主観が私が死ぬ世界線を選んだとして、私の主観も同じように私が死ぬ世界線を選ぶとは限らない。それは私の主観がここに存在していることからもわかる。すでにこの世界線は私が死なない世界線なわけだから。あんたの主観がベータ世界線に行ってしまっても、私の主観はここに留まることだってできるのかもしれない。精神はどこにあるかって話。そして私は、私の精神をあんたの好きにさせたくない。
科学者とは思えないほどのファンタジーな理論だ。
でも、可能性はゼロじゃない。だから、あんたは何も心配する必要はない。
Kurusu smiles with a grin. She was just given a death sentence. So how can she smile?
私を見殺しにできないって言って、悩んでるのよね。でも、今の私の仮説で言えば、私は別の可能性世界線で生き続けていける。だから、 そもそも岡部は悩む必要なんてない。
仮説は仮説だ。
アトラクタフィールド理論だって仮説。まだ誰にも何も証明されてないから。2036年時点では証明されていたとしても、その証明を今の私たちは確認できないから。そう考えれば未来の可能性は無限よ。
Saying that much, Kurusu turns her back to me. An armchair theory. A daring armchair theory that could possibly deny everything I've done to this point. How can Kurusu stay so calm even now? Even though she's still an 18-year-old girl.
ちなみに、心配なんかしてくれなくてもいいから。岡部にそんなことされたら、結構プライド傷つく。
そんな言い方。
電話鳴ってるけど？
ああ。参りからだ。
出てあげなさいよ。なんで私に遠慮してるんだ？
もしもし。まゆりか。
Somehow Mayuri's face displayed on the LCD was missing its usual brightness.
どうした？
ダルくんから聞いたんだ。オカリンがなんだか変だったって。マユシーはコミマに夢中になってて、オカリンのことよく見ててあげられなかったね。いつもならオカリンが元気なかったらすぐに気づくのに。ごめんね。
Don't apologize. You haven't done anything wrong.
でね。オカリン？
I can't say it. There's no way I can say it. I've always kept it a secret from Mayuri. I never told her anything.
何もないよ。
そっか。前はよくマユシーにいろんな話してくれたよね。例えば、機関には幹部が4人いて、それぞれゲップとスダチと声優とジャコだっけ。
玄武とスザクと清流と白虎だ。
そうそう、そういうね、オカリンのお話、とっても面白かったな。でも、ねえ、オカリン。マユシーのこと、重荷に感じてたら、言ってね。
そんなこと。
じゃあ、とりあえず切るね。もしマユシーにいろいろお話ししたいなーって思ったら、いつでも電話してくれていいからね。じゃあ、トゥットゥルー。
She hung up on me.
まゆり、なんだって？
あいつ。何が重荷だよ。勝手に自分を責めやがって。うざくらなよ、くそ。いつもは空気を読めないくせに。なんでこういう時だけ。
重荷、ね。
俺は一度だって、まゆりを重荷に感じたことはない。
だったらそれを、はっきり言ってあげればいい。
It wasn't a good idea to hide everything from her after all. It normally looks like she's not thinking anything. Yet she still noticed my hesitation. But I still can't tell her the truth.
岡部。
Sighing as if amazed, Kurusu glares at me.
これまでのあんたなら、 悩んだりしなかったはず。とりあえず、まゆりに会いに行くべき。あの子だって、いろいろ思うところがあるんだろうし。
That's right. Even if I don't tell her the truth, I need to at least tell her something. I'll postpone the conclusion and go to see Mayuri. Not many people are left at Kamima this hour, even though it's opening day. Of course, the corporate booths in the cosplay grounds are still thriving, but there aren't as many people as they were lined up for admission. I've been calling Mayuri and sending her texts since before, but she hasn't responded. I asked Aru over the phone too, but he said he hasn't seen her today either. Cosplay ends at 4 p.m. I focused on searching for the cosplay grounds during that time, but I couldn't find her. Maybe she finished early and went home. I tried calling Mayuri's home phone with that thought in mind, but she apparently hasn't gone home yet. Just where is she? It feels like she'll disappear if I take my eyes off of her. Mayuri had some sort of helpless face since before she lost her grandmother. That's how I felt. Although that may not have been the case. That may have just been what I thought. Because we've been thoughtlessly together. Because she's been so close for so long. Because I saw her when she was last week. I might have just been overprotective of her. But I don't care how other people see us. Anyway, it's my nature to not leave Mayuri alone. I show up at the graveyard. The final resting place of Mayuri's beloved granny. How long has it been since I've been here? Ever since Mayuri became my hostage, I've tagged along with her periodically, so I'd come here about once a year. I haven't come here once since entering high school, so it's been about 3 or 4 years. When I get close to the grave, a voice reaches my ears. It's Mayuri's voice, without a doubt. It sounds like she's talking with someone, but I approach without calling out to her, and peek in on her condition from some distance away.
ねえ、おばあちゃん。
Mayuri is talking to the grave. I'm relieved to find her. I'm glad she didn't disappear.
最近ね、怖い夢をよく見るんだ。
I thought she had finally mastered the ability to talk to ghosts, but it looks more like she's just talking to herself.
その夢の中ではね、いつもマユシーはひどい目に遭うの。ピストルでバーンって撃たれたり、車の事故に巻き込まれたり、電車にひかれたり。
Could that mean?
まるで本当のことみたいで、すごく痛くて、すごく悲しくて、誰か助けてって一生懸命声を出そうとするけど、出せなくて、どうしてそんな夢見るのかな。
Could that mean that she has memories of all her deaths? From previous world lines? Her memories continue. Just like with my reading Steiner?
でね、その夢の最後はいつも決まってるの。マユシーが泣いてるとね、オカリンが助けに来てくれるんだ。マユシーはオカリンに、ありがとう、ありがとうって言うんだけど、その声もオカリンには聞こえてなくて、オカリンはマユシーを抱きしめて、 とっても悲しそうな顔をしてた。泣いちゃいそうだけど、絶対に泣かなくてね。でも一生懸命我慢してるのがわかるの。
In retrospect, both Ferris and Rukiko remembered their memories before the past was changed. I thought memories couldn't be shared between world lines. I thought my reading Steiner was special. But maybe that isn't true. Maybe everybody has the same power as me, but to varying degrees. It might even be to the point where it can't be called a power.
だからマユシーも悲しくなって、ごめんね、ごめんねって言うけど、やっぱり声は届かなくて、そこで、いつも目が覚めるんだ。どうして、こんな夢見るのかな。
I've never been able to save my Yuri. Right in front of my eyes, my Yuri has time and time again lost her life. I kept time leaping to try and prevent that. But were my Yuri's memories tormenting her as dreams in other worlds? In other world lines? Without calling to my Yuri, I stay hidden, biting my lip tightly. Now, I've lost my way. Should I save my Yuri? Should I save Kurisu? There's no convenient option where I can save both. One or the other. If I choose Kurisu, then my Yuri's dreams will become a reality. I don't want to give my Yuri a painful time. Until now, I've only ever thought about saving my Yuri. But even so, it's not like I can just let Kurisu die. I'm lost in another dead end, without an answer. Without noticing me, my Yuri looks up to the sky, just like the time before she became a hostage. She keeps talking to her granny in heaven.
あ、そうそう。最近ラボメンがすごく増えたんだよ。クリスちゃんでしょ、萌香さん、ルカくん、フェリスちゃん、それと、もう引っ越しちゃっていないけど、すずさん、8人だよ。すごいね。
All of them became lab mems in this world line. But there's still one person who has yet to send an email.
最初は、オカリンとマユシーの2人だけだったのにね。ラボができたばっかりの頃はね、オカリンはあんまり面白そうじゃなかったけど、最近はね、とっても楽しそうなんだよ。
Is that how she saw it? But that's not necessarily wrong. Just as I thought, she really observes me as well.
そんなオカリンを見てるとね、マユシーも嬉しくなってニコニコできるの。それにね、賑やかだとウキウキしてくるし、特にクリスちゃんはね、アメリカの有名な本に論文が載ったりして、とっても頭がいいんだよ。マユシーは憧れちゃうのです。タイムマシンだって作っちゃうぐらいなんだから。あ、これはオカリンとダルくんも一緒に作ってたけどね。
And then Mayuri becomes silent. Her eyes become distant. She looks at the sky, standing still. What could she be thinking?
でもね、たまに思うんだ。最初、マユシーが押しかけて、ラボに二人きりだった時のこと、学 校が終わってラボに行くとね、オカリンはいないの。でね、お部屋の片付けしたり、可愛い小物を飾り付けたりしてるうちに、オカリンが少し遅れてやってきて、マユシーがお帰りって言うと、オカリンはただいまとは言わなくて、ご苦労って偉そうに答えてた。その後は毎日2時間ぐらい二人でぼんやり過ごして、一緒に電車でお家に帰るの。その2時間はね、会話なんてほとんどなくて、でも嫌な沈黙とかじゃなくて、ただそこにいるっていう感じで、二人で並んでソファーに座って、オカリンはラボの作戦計画書みたいなのを書いてて、マユシーは漫画読んだりゲームしたりして、たまに思い出したようにね、一緒にお菓子を食べてた。とてもゆっくり、優しく時間が流れてて、それでもいいかななんて思ったり、まるでマユシーは本当に人質になっちゃったみたいだなとか、ふと思って、一人でえへへって笑ったり、オカリンはニコニコしてるマユシーを見てね、こういうの。
Mayuri's words touch me. I remember that time too. About 4 months ago, back when it was still spring, instead of the livelihood our lab has now, it had a leisurely time, isolated from the outside world.
何かいいことでもあったのか？
いいことはなかったけど、あったよ。
そうか。幻想を見たのだな。それはもしかすると、機関の幹部の一人、通称、イリュージョンコンダクターからの攻撃である可能性がある。
そっか。じゃあ気をつけなきゃ。でもね、きっとその、イリュージョンコダクさんって、
コダクさんではない。コンダクター。
その人は、きっと悪い人じゃないと思うな。
That was really an inconsequential conversation.
それはマユシーにはすごく心地よくて、なんだか泣きそうなくらい嬉しくて、このままずっと続いてほしいなって思ってた。あ、今の賑やかさが嫌ってわけじゃないんだよ。
Mayuri explains to her granny in heaven. Then Mayuri stops looking to the sky and hangs her head down instead.
最近ね、オカリンと話す時間、ちょっと減っちゃった。だからね、マユシーは寂しくなっちゃったのかもしれないね。
The reason we've had less time to talk is because I've been keeping Mayuri's dreams from becoming reality. Frantically evading that result. Because I want Mayuri to always be smiling. Because I don't want her to make the same sad face as when her granny died.
でもね、オカリンの重荷にはなりたくないんだ。
Burden. Mayuri used that word again. I don't feel that way one bit.
マユシーはいつもオカリンに迷惑かけてばっかりだから。ね、おばあちゃん。
Mayuri raises her head again.
いつまでもこのままじゃいられないよね。
このままでいい。
I call out to her when I've had enough. Mayuri looks blank and Mayuri looks back at me blankly. And on that face where innocence still remains, slowly, a smile spreads.
オカリンだー！あ、すごいね！どうしてここにいるってわかったの？
人質がどこにいるのか、俺は常に把握しているのだ。
人質。
だからお前は、俺の手からは逃れられん。絶対にだ。
そっか。でもね、あんまり無理したらダメだよ。マユシーはね、ちょっぴり心配なのです。
お前に心配されるほど、この法王院京馬はヤワではないのだ。マユリ、話せる時が来たら、すべて話す。だから、それまでお前は、何も変わらずにいてくれ。
Mayuri stands up and looks at the grave once more. She gives a brand new white lily and dango. She gives a brand new white lily and dango as an offering.
オカリ、帰ろう。
帰る前に、団子を食べるんだろ。
Coming for worship and eating dango from a nearby stand on the way back was a daily routine back then.
もちろんだよ。